Howdy, Cal from CWD. So on the way to visit the first place in a car that I rented for a week. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So I've obviously branded myself up with a t-shirt, got a cowboy hat on, sexy cowboy boots on. Feel a bit ridiculous in them, but I don't mind that. Got my little samples bag, ball valves, my pump ball valves, fittings, got the light and the dark ones. In America they use the imperial inch sizing, I'm led to believe, which is brilliant because I thought a few years ago it was the metric, and then I've got half a box of sealant. I would have had to have another full suitcase if I was bringing any more of it, but I don't intend on visiting any more than 12 shops while I'm here anyway. And while I was in Home Depot, I found an on-brand cork gun, silicone gun. So yeah, I thought that's brilliant. If I'm going to show someone how it works or anything, all I need now is a knife, because I can't get into this. It's got fiberglass tape, so I need to go and buy a knife from somewhere, and then I can get showing people what we're about. So yeah, onwards and upwards. So where's the name Yume from? Is it Yume or Yume?
Yume Koi.
Yume, yeah.
Yeah. So dream koi.
Okay.
Now he sells.
Is that where you get your koi from? Dainichi?
One of the breeders.
Okay.
Dainichi, Momotaro, Dainichi.
I like Hero. I think it's one of my favourite.
Hiroi.
Yeah, Hero.
Goshiki's.
Yeah, I love Goshiki.
Yeah, Goshiki's the.
If you say Goshiki in the UK, they tell you off, say it's Goshki.
Yeah.
But it's funny because in the UK, like pressure filters, everyone says no, don't use pressure filters, they're crap. But in the States, everyone's got a pressure filter and the ponds are bigger.
Yeah, I think it all varies on nowadays. A lot of people are using drum filters.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
yeah. So my buddy that I was saying that we get some of the stuff from, the pumps. He brings his drum filters from, I believe, the Netherlands.
Oh, Filtro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we have those in the UK as well,
Yeah.
Filtro.
So like for me and stuff like that, so far, I guess now how expensive the pressure filters have got, so I'm not too bad about it, but from the get-go, what you pay for a drum filter, what I pay for a pressure filter and stuff like that, I got guys installed over here don't know how to do it, so their water level is lopsided or whatever. Then when the system goes, we get a lot of power outage. The system goes, the pond drains empty.
That's crazy. So you're using, is it Mountain Tree Lotus that you use in the filters, the ceramic media?
The ceramic media, the ceramic, I'm not sure. Those we get from my buddy that brings it in from China.
Is it the spiral one?
No, not the whatever tree.
Oh, you're using the Momotaro?
No, not even Momotaro.
Is there
different material?
Okay.
Yeah. So this is from this company. This is the Chinese-based company.
Okay.
So
Mountain Tree.
Yeah, Mountain Tree and stuff like that. But then like,
because in the UK we get a lot of dealers saying that Mountain Tree will only last 1 or 2 seasons, then it disintegrates. Really? But in the States, I mean, how long has that been in there for now?
I don't know, maybe a few years.
It's not disintegrating, is it? Yeah. So I don't know if people are just trying to clean it with a hammer or what, but
yeah, because like we use a lot of like this stuff. Okay. This is what we sell more of.
Have you ever heard of bio-home media? It basically looks like a dog poo. It's got no hole in the middle.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah, but it's 3 times more expensive than the most expensive other version, so I think that's why.
Oh yeah, like the Momotaro, the old Momotaro, the original Momotaro and the new Momotaro looks too different.
Yeah.
So Sama-sama.
I love the turtles, we don't really see many of these. Oh no, it fell over. Do you get a lot of that?
Yeah.
Really cool. sought after type of fish that you get? No sanke. They're a classic, it's always going to be.
And then
he's an absolute monster, him. If I was in the UK, I'd be buying him off you now. Or her, it's probably a female, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And the circle on the head on that is beautiful.
That one is from Hero.
Is it? Every time I'm at places, I normally choose out the Hero fish. There's a few dealers near me when I visit them. I'm like, I want that fish, and that fish. They go, they're all Hero, you know. I'm like, I didn't, but yeah. A Hero Tancho. You got more turtles down there, haven't you?
Yeah, the babies.
Do you breed them? Or do you just
my
buy
buddy
them?
breeds them.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
He does well out of you then, doesn't he? So are they like enclosed in tanks or in gardens? How they normally?
Over here, I think it depends on where you live. Like for California,
Yeah.
probably be raised outside.
Okay.
But if some of the northeast and northwest, then you probably raise them outside in the warmer months and then yank them back in the cooler months.
Okay.
Those are Japanese wood turtles.
Oh, are they?
Those would be outdoors, I think, year round, even
Oh,
in
really?
temperature.
Okay. So just had a really nice chat with Alan at Yume Koi. I'm still just outside. Got a really nice little place, some absolutely stunning fish. He's got some massive, if I was in the UK I'd be buying some of the fish, because for I think it was like $1,500 he had, it must have been 60-70 cm Tancho with 2 damaged scales, and then for $2.5 grand he had almost the exact same. And then in the vat next to it, a bit smaller, probably about 50-55 cm, he had a Tancho that had it wasn't absolutely perfect, but it was, you know, it was nearly there. And that was my favourite fish in there. And normally when I say that's my favourite fish in here, it's a Heroi. So yeah, I really like Heroi fish. So if anyone is selling any in the UK, nice Tancho, big, you know, thing on the head, big nice circle, I'd be interested in it. But yeah, so talking about average size of koi ponds in the US, he said the average one is between 1,000 and 4,000-5,000 gallons. So there is a difference in the sizes. At the top end in the UK is normally probably about 4,000 gallons. You get the odd one, but it is quite rare to have a 6,000, 8,000 gallon pond in the UK. He said that what he's noticed the difference between UK and US, specifically California, is in California they have a koi pond because they want a little like tranquil zone in the garden, not necessarily just he kind of said just a box full of fish, and it's the fish that we focus on. But in the US, he said most people just want some cheap fish to fill it so they can swim about that look all right. They're not too fussed about what variety they are, they just want some big fish that have got a few different colours, and the feature is the pond itself. So I thought that was quite interesting, because there's a different take on it there, because in the UK it's a bit more of a collector's item. There's like nice watches and things like that. People collect nice watches, nice cars. Yeah, I'm sat in one right now. There's the beast. But yeah, so it's more of a, yeah, it's more treated like collector's items, he said, in the UK, which I thought was an interesting way of looking at it. I've not really thought about it like that, because it made me think about the physical pond itself. And getting onto the physical pond, he said most of them are like rockery, you know, big, sunken in the ground, or they'll be sunken or part raised on one area, treated a bit like a raised wall or something. Pressurized filters are quite big over here. I said it in the last place I was in inland koi. So he said that pressurized filters, they used to use a Wazi, and then there's just other manufacturers out there now, so they're using different manufacturers. But he said the price on the pressure filters is really good. Drum filters are available, but he said the price difference just doesn't make it worth it for his customers. He's got the same mountain tree media, he's had it in there for 2 or 3 years. He picked it up you know, give it a bit of a squeeze. As Carl Pilkington did say, he squoze it. And then, you know, I had a little thing on the end, see what it was like. It didn't feel like it was disintegrating. So I don't know if we're getting duff stuff or what's going on there. But he had a bit of Momotaro in there too. He said that's been going fine as well. So I don't know if it's some change in the water that makes ours disintegrate, or maybe it doesn't. It's just certain people that it disintegrates for. Maybe there's a bad batch, not sure. What have you got any that you've found that's just crumbled into nothing after a few months? Because over here they don't seem to think it does that at all. So I've shown them the sealant and the fittings and things, same as Inland Koi. They're not a big distributor or anything, so I wasn't expecting to be able to really sell things. I'm more here to kind of get an idea of where I can fit in the market. And every time I've raised the sealant to like a koi dealer, they've been quite interested in the capabilities of it. So I've given them a few tubes each to either give to a contractor they know, or to use themselves, or to give to a customer if they've got a problem. Because what I want, and what I've told them I want, is I want them to have a customer having an experience and telling them about it, rather than me just banging on and saying it's the best stuff in the world. Because doesn't matter what I think, it matters what his customers think and what he thinks. So he's got a couple of tubes. I've told him about how we fit windows. He said that because they have earthquakes and things, they have cracks in concrete ponds. So I said it can be used for that. Basically just fill the crack and smear it flat. The black colour, he said, is not a problem because quite a lot of the ponds are black. There's a few like blue, aqua sort of colour and light grey, but there's also quite a few black ones as well. So he said it should be fine, should be able to use it. He also mentioned some regulatory stuff. There's certain chemicals that aren't allowed to be used in California. You're not allowed to sell certain items in your shops if they've got certain chemicals. That's not something I was aware of. We've obviously had testing done for safe in the UK and EU, but I didn't think about a separate one for the States, so we're going to be looking into that. The only thing with the States is there's a lot of states, and each state's got its own rules. So he said there's a company that manufactures a pond liner in the States, well, in California, but it's got a certain chemical where the government has decided you're not allowed to sell that as a pond product, you know, for keeping livestock in, because it's got a certain chemical in. You're not allowed to sell that, but they still manufacture it and they sell it to Texas and, you know, other states. So it's a bit crazy, that, isn't it? It's a completely different world over here. Everything, it does change. And he said they moved shop a couple of years ago. Like the landlord passed away at the old place, so they moved across the street basically, and they're looking to move again because they are like a water garden, but the new premises doesn't really have a space for the like the garden side. He said tropical plants are a really big thing over here, and he wants to be able to showcase that. So yeah, really nice guy. He was nice and open about everything. He just seems really passionate about ponds and fish, and yeah. On to the next place, I suppose. We'll see where we end up next.